Ready or not, we're going to come. Jim wrote this for me. Please welcome the outrageously gifted, remember he wrote this, Jim MacGeorge.
Thank you very much. I want to thank all of you for the happy birthday cards that I got with all the names on it for my 90th birthday. I'm happy. This is our little Christmas get-together. I just found out there are 4 stages to Santa Claus. Stage 1, you believe in Santa Claus. Stage 2, you don't believe in Santa Claus. Stage 3, you are Santa Claus. Stage 4, you look like Santa Claus. I like fairy tales, and I heard one backstage a little while ago. Once upon a time, there was a young prince who was romancing the beautiful princess. And he said, "Will you marry me?" And she said, "No." And he lived happily. The weatherman said, "No snow, no hurricane for Christmas Day." That's good news, because I was in a hurricane. And it was terrible. The wind and snow and the rain and the wind was blowing and debris was flying everywhere. And I was in a stationary spot with my face pressed against the window. And then suddenly the wind stopped and the sun came out. So my wife opened the door and let me in. I feel good. I love these meetings. I think it's terrific. Last Tuesday I was home kind of relaxing and knocked at the door. He said, "I'm a Jehovah's Witness." I said, "Well, come on in, sit down. Can I get you lemonade? What can I do for you?" He said, "I don't know. I never got this far before." Oh, I don't know how many, I forgot. I don't know how many of you know Carl Webb. But he's 111 years old today, and he said that one, no, wait a minute. Oh no, he's ill. We were driving over here, we got turned around and kind of lost, and we stopped by a gas station with a guy sitting in a rocking chair there, and I said, "What's the quickest way to the Mayflower Club?" He said, "Well, are you walking or are you driving?" I said, "We're driving." I said, "That's the quickest." A thief broke into my house and started searching for money. And I woke up and saw him and started searching with him. Never found anything. And a lady was in the courtroom and she was found guilty of stealing a can of peaches from the supermarket. And the judge said, "How many peaches in a can?" She said, 6. He said, 6 days in jail. Her husband said, "She also stole a can of peas." There was a nightclub filled with people laughing and singing and dancing, and suddenly a flash of light and smoke, and the devil appeared. And everyone ran from the club except one man. He just sat there. The devil looked at him and said, "You're not afraid of me, are you?" He said, "No, I married your sister." I feel good. I had a physical on Wednesday. The doctor said that I could do anything I want, but it better be this week. It's like the stagecoach driver where he pulls into Tucson. Sees his friend Herb. He said, "You got a job yet, Herb?" He said, "Not yet, Curly." "You want to ride a shotgun?" He said, "What do I have to do?" "Nothing. You see an outlaw, you shoot him." "Well, I could do that. I'll hop aboard." "Ha, they're out there about an hour." You look, "Curly, outlaw up on the hill. How big is he?" "Not that big. Want me to shoot him?" He said, "Yeah, they go another hour." "How big is he now?" "Not that big. Want me to shoot him?" "No, wait a minute. They go another hour." I said, "How big is he?" He said, "He's this big." He said, "Shoot him." "Shoot him." He said, "I can't." I've known him since he was that big. The philosopher said, your living is determined not by what life brings to you, but by the attitude that you bring to life. And I think he's right. But you know, we all have problems, a lot of problems out there, and it's hard to keep a good attitude. For instance, my computer broke down, and the kid next door, 10 years old, came over and fixed it. And I said, what was the problem? He said it was an ID10T problem. I said, what's that? He said, write it out. It spells idiot. And I don't know, a guy, I loaned a friend of mine $8,000. He had a facelift. Now I don't know where he is or what he looks like. And I had a fender bender. The guy smashed into the fender, broke the headlight. I walked over to the car. I said, are you drinking? He said, are you buying? I invested in a baseball team in Bakersfield. They call themselves the Possums. They're great at home, but they get killed on the road. There's a knock at the door. And I said, who is it? She said, the maid, can I clean up? I said, sure. She came in, took a shower, and left. I tell you, you have to learn to solve these problems, you know? I found out you should never marry a beautiful woman. She'll leave you brokenhearted. Marry an ugly woman. If she leaves you, who cares? And if you're attacked by a group of clowns, go for the juggler. They found, the archaeology department at UCLA found a new pyramid, and they were inside. There's a mummy on the table, and they're dusting it off, and he looks down and the lips are moving. And he got real close. And the mummy said, is Larry King still alive? I found out what Jesus said at the Last Supper. Everyone has to be on this side of the table if they want to be in the picture. I don't know how many of you remember the cartoon series Laurel and Hardy. I mean, Time for Beanie, with Beanie and Uncle Captain. And I got a call from the producer's son 2 weeks ago, and he said, can you help me with some publicity? And he said, I'll do the characters what they sound like when they're 90. Golly, Uncle Cap, I'm sure getting scared. I think we're heading into two-headed freak country.
Yeah.
Hey, well, Beanie boy, I'm going to my hiding box down below. So, dishonest John, now's the time to grab the kid. Come here, kid, we're going to take you to the dungeon and get the ransom. Help, Cecil, help, Cecil, Cecil, help. I'm coming, Beanie boy. I'm coming. Take that dishonest John and that, and take the damage that takes care of you. Golly, she's sure the best pal a little kid like me ever had. Oh, what the heck, boy. Yeah. Someone asked me recently whether I ever lived in England. I said no. I visited England, visited Scotland, and I visited Elverson, where Stan Laurel was born. There's a little plaque on the apartment there that says Stan Laurel was born here. Someone stole it and then they brought it back, which I was thankful for. The truth is I was born in Seattle, Washington. I went to Lincoln High School, University of Washington. My father was Scotch, my mother was Irish, which means I've always had a desperate need for a drink. I just couldn't bring myself to pay for it. Mrs. Delaney knocked on the door, tear in her eye, and says, you're having problems. She said, my husband passed away. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Did he have a last request? She said, yes. He said, Kathleen, put down that gun. and we had a home invasion. And And the couple came home and cut the guy. He said, now you see my face, I'm going to have to do something to you. What's your name? She said, Elizabeth. He said, Elizabeth? That's my mother's name. I can't hurt you. What's your name? He said, Fred. But everyone calls me Elizabeth. You know, there's troubles out there. The couple next door had a big fight. And she went on a cruise by herself. And she met the captain. They had dinner in his quarters. And after dinner, he pointed to the bedroom. She said, no, I'm married. He said, it's either that or the ship will sink and everyone will be lost. So she got home. Husband said, how'd the cruise go? She said, you won't believe this, but I saved the lives of 2,418 people. Twice. You have to to have a balanced life, you have to kind of work at it, and you have to think. And when a person thinks, he becomes a light and a power, and he flickers a flame from which other torches are lit. And Richard Pryor said, you can learn all the words through routine. It takes 10 years to learn the timing. Yep. Albert Einstein said, you go to school not to learn facts. You go to school to learn how to think. Anyway, this duck walked into a bar. He said, I'd like a strawberry milkshake. He said, we don't serve strawberry milkshakes. Next night, same bar. I want a strawberry milkshake. He said, we don't, I told you last time, you come in here again, and I'll nail your little webbed feet to the counter. Next night, same bar. Got any nails? No. Give me a strawberry milkshake. Well, I'll tell you, it can be tough out there. I remember this older couple were at a fair, and they saw a sign, helicopter rides $50. He said, Martha, I sure would like to go up in that helicopter. He said, $50 is $50. And the pilot overheard him and said, you don't make any noise, the ride is free. He said, come on, Martha, let's go. And they flew around and they landed. The pilot walked over, I got to compliment you. You did not say one word. He said, I know that. I was going to say something when Martha fell out. $50 is $50. And then a car stopped right in front of me the other day, and I banged into the back of it, and a dwarf came out, and he came back and said, I am not happy. I said, really? Which one are you? My dad taught me to play golf when I was quite young, and I still play. Well, I don't play golf, I putt on Wednesdays with it's an older group. You have to have a PSA of 5 or more just to get in. And we're putting out there, and a guy's driving on the freeway gets a call from his wife on the cell phone. She said, I heard there's a car going the wrong way on the freeway. He said, not just one, there are hundreds of them. Jimmy Stewart loved golf. You know, I like to get out with the green grass and the trees. And I'm using a new high-tech golf ball now. If it gets within 6 inches of the cup, it automatically jumps in the hole. But don't carry it in your back pocket. And a friend of mine is going to play a golf tournament in Mallorca. I said, you got to be excited. He said, not really, because I don't speak Spanish. I said, you speak English very, very slowly. We'll become Spanish. They will understand you. So I went into a pub. He said, bartender, I would like a martini. He said, 1 martini coming up. Where are you from? He said, I'm from Ireland. He says, so am I. And why are we speaking Spanish? They were interviewing Jack Nicklaus, and they said, your name will always be synonymous with golf, and you really knew your way around a golf course. What's the secret? He said, the holes are numbered. Guy's putting, a little snail walks up and gets it, he picks it up and throws it over in the weeds. 2 months later, he's reading the paper at home. All of a sudden, there's a knock at the door. He opens it. There's a snail. He said, what the hell was that all about? And that's what you were going to say when that's at the door. What the hell was that all about? I would say I read it in a medical journal that laughter is good for the whole body. It helps the heart, it helps the immune system, and it helps reverse the negative stress hormones. And there was a lady who lived in Aries, France, Jeannie Louise Alfo, has the longest lifespan, legitimate lifespan on record. She lived 122 years, 164 months. And she laughed at everything. She loved to laugh. She would just laugh. She said, I enjoy laughing. I'll probably die laughing. She said, I have only one wrinkle, and I'm sitting on it. And she laughed. And music is good to have in your life. Music to where you can feel relaxed and enjoy your life. And I love a good lyric. And to me, this is a good lyric. Once upon a time, what a difference a day makes. 24 little hours brings the sun and the flowers where there used to be rain. My yesterdays were blue, dear. Now I'm a part of you, dear. My lonely nights are through, dear, since you said you were mine. What a difference a day makes. There's a rainbow before me. Skies above won't be stormy. Since that moment of bliss, that thrilling kiss, is heaven when you have romance on your menu. What a difference a day makes, and the difference is you.
Oh yeah.
Several years ago, I toured Japan, and I was in Yokohama and Tokyo and Beppu and Fukuoka, and we were in Beppu in cherry blossom season, and that was very nice, you know. And I remember that Mr. Nakashima comes home from work in Tokyo and stops by a steam room. And he said, oh, steam, very good for steam, open pore, make you very strong and healthy. And his friend, Mr. Katamura, entered. He said, Konbawa, Mr. Katamura. He said, Konbawa, Mr. Nakashima. Ikaga desu ka? Genki desu. Umare doko desu ka? Umare Tokyo desu. Mr. Nakashima, I hear rumor about your wife. No. I go home. Miyoki-san. And she had an affair with a Jewish lawyer. Oh, I asked, oh, Miyoki-san, you have an affair with a Jewish lawyer. She said, lie. What schmuck told you that? You know, the Laurel and Hardy thing, I just love. A little lady got on a bus with a little baby, and the bus driver said, that's the ugliest looking kid I've ever seen in my life. And she went back to the back of the bus, the tears are falling. The gentleman was there. I said, what happened? I said, the bus driver insulted me. He said, reporter, you have his number? She said, no. You go up and get his number, and I'll hold your monkey. My grandfather called me once and he said, you know, son, when I was a little boy, my mother sent me to the corner store with $1. I came back, 4 bags of potatoes, 3 quarts of milk, 3 loaves of bread, a dozen eggs, and a pound of cheese. Couldn't do that today. Too many security cameras. And I was talking to my lady friend, and I said, I may not have all the money in the world like Bill Gates, and I may not be able to buy you cars and houses and jewelry like Bill Gates, but I love you. She said, that's fine, but tell me a little more about this Bill Gates. You know, I talked to my friend Al. I said, how's it going? He said, I think I'm going to get a divorce. I said, why? He said, my wife hasn't spoken to me in 2 months. I said, well, think it over carefully. Those kind of women are hard to find. And I thought it was good. Okay, he said, I forgot her birthday, forgot to get her a present. And she said, when I walk out that driveway tomorrow morning, I want to see something that goes from 0 to 200 in 2 seconds. Next morning, she looks out there. It was a bathroom scale. And the romance is hard, you know, today. 2 couple in bed watching TV, and suddenly she feels a hand on her thigh, and it goes up her shoulder and around her back and down her back, and it stops. She said, why'd you stop? He said, I found the remote. You know, I was in Bank of America yesterday, and I said to the cashier, would you check my balance? And she pushed me. This hat means a lot to me. It was given to me by Lois Laurel, Stan's daughter. And there's a new movie out about Laurel and Hardy on their tour overseas. I hear it's getting great reviews. I would have been up for the part of Stan if I were 60 years younger.
Yeah. Oh, you can do it, right? Yeah.
We were partners for 22 years, and we made 106 films. And I look back on it now, and I realize you count your age by the smiles, not the tears. And you count your life by your friends, not the years. And you don't stop playing because you get old. You get old because you stop playing. So we're going to all play all night long and all next week and the week after that. There's a bumblebee in a jar. And if you put a bumblebee in a jar with the lid off, it will still perish. It only tries to escape through the sides and the bottom. It never looks up. So sorrow looks back, worry looks around, faith looks up. So we live simply, we love generously, we care deeply, we speak kindly, we laugh unconditionally, and we keep looking up, and Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Gee, Ollie, this windshield's so messy, I can't see. Oh. need new wiper blades.
I know that.
Ollie, without new Anco wipers, we could have been hit by that piano.
Piano?